monkeys!
What's up, people of the internet, and today we are reviewing the #1 racist in all of fiction, Frieza. So let's get right into the review. For packaging, he has your standard Figuarts standard packaging, which with some great art of the figure on the front, and that's pretty much it. Nothing that special, but I really like the art. Now onto the figure itself. Being a model kit, he isn't that detailed, but for what it is, I still feel like there is some pretty great sculpting all around. Like, the muscle definition is great, and overall he really does look like Frieza. I think he might be a little too buff, but I don't mind it that much. Now onto the accessories. He actually comes with a great amount. Let me zoom in. He has a normal head sculpt and like a more grinning smile, which I don't find myself using that often. He has a pair of fists, and he has a pointing finger hand, and a pair of these open hands to recreate ki blasts and his iconic pose. He also has two effects, which is great. He has this one, which comes on a stand, but you can also use it without it, since it just plugs in the pointing finger like so. His, I think, death beam, I'm not exactly sure what it was called. And he also has, I'm 90% sure this was called the death ball. I recently rewatched Dragon Ball Z, and now that I'm seeing this effect, I think it's a bit too pink. If it was more purple, it would have looked better. In the anime, it's more so like dark purple, close to black, with purple highlights, but I don't think they could have done it since they don't paint the kits. But besides that, it's pretty cool. The accessories, even though they are little, they are surprisingly fun to mess around with. But what isn't that fun is the articulation. So, he doesn't look up. He has so many joints here, like at the neck, he has a ball joint here, but it still doesn't allow him to look very far up and down. He has he has swivel and tilt, some tilt. His arms go up to a T-pose. He has butterfly joints, which do work pretty well, better than some Figuarts releases. And of course they go all the way around. He has a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and just a ball joint at the wrists. He has a diaphragm and a waist joint, but he crunches only this much, and back this much. Tilt, I guess, and some swivel. And his legs are on a drop down, which allows him to kick this much forward, this much backward, and a thigh swivel, double jointed knees. Here is how much he does the splits, pretty well actually. And he has a foot swivel, a foot hinge, and a foot pivot. So, for size comparisons, here is him in my Dragon Ball Super display, and here is him next to your average $20 scam. So overall, this figure is fun. It's a good replacement if you don't have the S.H.Figuarts Frieza, and I find it fun to... Oh, I forgot. He has an articulated tail with swivel and, yeah, just swivels. And it's decent. I wouldn't recommend it over the Figuarts, but I still think it's a good replacement. See ya, people!